Good afternoon. My name is Leslie Williams, and today's date is December 18th, 2015. So it could take a little while. It could take a little while for this video to get uploaded. I also want to make a fast statement before I get into the subject matter of this video. As a direct result of me being an organized stalking, gang stalking targeted individual in La Jolla, California, which is in San Diego County, one of the main crimes of gang stalking, which can also be called organized stalking, and it's not stalking by gangs at all. Gangs aren't even involved in it. I'd say at least 97% of this crime has nothing to do whatsoever with gangs. It's organized crime of the system at the federal, state, and local level. Hold on. Excuse me. See, sometimes in my videos, stay with this video, trust me, you'll be glad you did. It's just on rare moments in my videos, I might feel the inclination to act a little silly or goofy in order to make you smile, okay? And to keep my spirits up as a result of what I put up with on a daily basis. Sometimes the only way that I can, outside of prayer and my relationship with God, is to act goofy, to keep my spirits light. I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I'm not mentally ill, I'm not a threat to myself or others, and the reason why I brought that up is because these are the little kinds of labels that they will attempt to put on organized stalking. Gang stalking targets. In order to discredit them because of the truth they're telling. Fellow American citizens, we're living in an age now where the truth is a lie and the lie is the truth, in reference to the organized crime in the system and our government at every level. So, it is more, it is picking up on a more of an escalated scale where whistleblowers and truth tellers are being persecuted in ways that would just blow your mind. Let me give you an example of this, but let me light my cigarette first. Let me help you see just real fast a fast illustration of the deviousness and the deceit and the lies, the pure lies that are attached to gang stalking. One of the ways that organized stalking and gang stalking operates in reference to the perpetrators that are in the system at every level, including law enforcement, what they will do is use their employment descriptions to achieve their objectives in every aspect of this campaign pertaining to what they do towards the target, including achieving the criminal motivation. This is where the prosecutors and the DA and the public defenders will stuff their little maggot asses in to play their roles in reference to using their employment descriptions, including with, but not limited to, any type of law enforcement, including security guards of business plazas. Security firms also play a huge role in gang stalking because gang stalking is happening all over our community in reference to the business community as well. And who do you think guards the property owners? See, because when you have a mall, when you have like a mall or a plaza, these properties are owned by developers. They're owned by developers and real estate companies who then lease their buildings to businesses. Now, if crimes are being perpetrated, let's say if you have one plaza where there's 10 stores and a target goes into each one of those stores and is harassed by every single one of them and then makes a complaint to security and they don't do nothing about it, who do you think is contracting that security? The developer. And his little skanky asses, if whoever it is, at the end of the day, they're going to make sure that they escape all civil and criminal liability. So don't make no mistake about it. They will absolutely use their security firm to achieve their objectives in reference to participating in what is known as staged events and organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions. So the security guards can basically ban the target from the property. Okay. Now, I decided to make this video. This video is being made to illustrate to you an aspect of how all this shit can play out in reference to on how this subject matter that I'm about ready to describe to you, how it plays out. In organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions, one of the main things that they attempt to do to a target is to cause the target to have a mental collapse. Now, we all know, as a result of us being human beings, that our bodies are composed of more than just the mind. Okay, it's also composed of the biological systems, the physiological signals, our emotional states. Have you ever had like even just a small minor stomach ache as a result of stress? Okay, or a headache that was brought about because of stress. Hold on. Let this helicopter go by. Alright, so what I'm going to do in this video first, okay, is give you some illustrations that will help describe to you how just this one aspect of this crime operates in order to achieve the objective in reference to, look, say you get up in the morning, okay, and you're homeless. You've been made homeless as a result of being a gang stalking victim. Hold on. Just hold on a second, okay? Now, dealing with being homeless is not completely, it's not easy at all, because for one, we don't have refrigerators, so we have to go shopping practically every other day. There's a lot of expense in actually being homeless because of, especially if you're a gang stalking victim, because they'll steal your clothes, they'll damage them. If you're forced to move from place to place to place to place, and you can't, if you don't have a car, you can't take all your property with you at once, and since sometimes after you move, another event will occur, and you got to move again, or you'll get arrested. And so what I'm basically trying to say is, in order for you to survive like 3 days after you move, you might not have the time in your schedule to go all the way back to the other area where you left some of your property at to get it, but yet Walmart is closer. Also, eating out costs us more. See, when you buy, like, say, a loaf, just hear me out. When you buy a loaf of bread and some lunch meat, some cheese, some sandwich bags, whatever, okay, look at the cost of how much it costs to go into the deli of a grocery store and buy one meal, whether it be just even a deli sandwich, and then go over to the area where you buy your lunch meat. And you look at the cost of a pack of lunch meat, a cheap loaf of bread, and most homeless people will depend on those little mustard packets. Okay, just hear me out. Okay, so we don't even have to buy mustard to carry that around with us. Okay, but the point being, in reference to the cost that it would cost to make a already made sandwich at a deli, is a lot more expensive than it would cost to buy a pack of lunch meat and a pack of bread, a loaf of bread, and then just make sandwiches. Well, sometimes our schedules are so affected, like there's been at least 6 occasions where I have bought food and had to leave the food behind because I had to move. Okay? The clothes I went through, but anyways, I think you're getting a general understanding of what I'm talking about in just that aspect of this. Now let me move forward in reference to what I was leading up to. In organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions, one of the main things that they attempt to do to a gang stalking victim, the original criminal motivation is exploitation. Any type of crime you can think of, they're involved in, literally. Massive insurance fraud is one of the big ones. Okay. Legal syndicated probate control, land co-opting, property co-opting, mortgage co-opting, equity co-opting, trust fund liquidation, identity theft, stolen car rings, prostitution rings, human trafficking rings, illegal syndicated probate control. Oh, the insurance fraud that's attached to these crimes is astronomical. Okay. Now, so you can go to Google and type in UCSD and Law Library Are They Networking Gang Stalking. There's some massive videos in that blog that will show you not only the fact that I'm being gang stalked, but there's videos in that blog that also describe the criminal motivations behind these crimes and how they occur, how they're brought about, how they're achieved as a result of the gang stalking that's attached to it. Hold on. Now remember what I said, gang stalking is not stalking by gangs. What gang stalking is, it's a kind of a crime that is achieved through the stalking is GPS tracking of your cell phone. They can even GPS track you through your computer because the RF filtering emits a frequency. They can piggyback onto that frequency and use it as a GPS tracker. The individuals that are involved in these criminal realities do have extremely sophisticated technologies. Now, even to the point to where they can hack into a person's phone and send a phone call from that phone to another number. Absolutely. They can use your phone as a GPS tracker when it's turned off and the battery's out. That's the stalking of gang stalking. Now the gang of gang stalking is where they will track you in order to gang up on you to achieve an objective. Using anybody, low-life idiots that want to be part of the syndicate, punks who believe that they can do anything that they want for because the syndicates asked them to do it. Hold on. But most of the people that are harassing a target, hold on, students are used like you would not believe. But most of the general harassment that's done to a target in reference to like the overt harassment that's designed to intentionally let the target know they're being stalked as a result of them perpetrating what is known as sensitization methods towards the target are just duped citizens. So go to YouTube and type in "listen to a stranger." Go to YouTube and type in "gang stalking bullying on steroids." Alright, so check this out. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to lay out to you what is known as foundational programming, just one small aspect of this crime. Now the battery light is flashing, so if this video stops abruptly, I apologize for that. It doesn't mean it's not a good video or a well-made video, it just means it is what it is. So still, research what I've stated. Hold on. I hate smoking on video because I don't have any upper teeth, so every time I take a puff it makes my face look all caved in. Anyways, so check it out. Alright, so this right here is going to be just, I'm going to give you an example of how gang stalking works when it comes to just this aspect of why they will do a certain thing that they'll do. Sensitization methods is a huge aspect of these criminal realities, of these types of crimes. Now you can go to Google and YouTube and thoroughly review what sensitization is, where they will basically make a target sensitive to a stimuli. That stimuli being, the word stimuli stands for to stimulate a response. Stimuli, stimulate. Okay, now, and it's basically nothing but classical conditioning. Now that's a psychology term that you can Google, and I'll explain what that is right now just real briefly. Classical conditioning is where they will condition you, okay, using classical methods to be sensitive to something. Now, they do it by repeating a certain word, phrase, physical gesture, representing some color that you've been sensitized to, even a specific sound, like a specific way that a person, hold on, like a specific way a person will cough or clear their throat. They'll even sensitize the target to specific, well this is going back to the physical gestures, they will even sensitize the target to people making specific movements with their hair, or taking their hat off and tapping the brim of it, okay? Now, so all these, like I said, every single description I just stated, you can Google and YouTube, and you'll see it's all over the internet. It's all over the internet, okay? So check this out. What they would do is, in sensitization, is they will perpetrate a extremely intimidating event using neighborhood lowlifes, punks, homeless men, homeless women, people that are bigger than you, and they will have them act threatening towards you in one manner or another. They'll approach you and act all hyper, intimidating, threatening, physically and verbally. And while this is occurring, they will engage in certain physical gestures, movements, or say certain words or phrases, including during assaults, before, during, and after the assault. And I'm talking about any type of assault, including robbery. Therefore, whenever you are represented with what they introduced you to as these things were occurring, you have become sensitive to. Okay, it would be like, say, if a woman's walking down the road and a guy's walking towards her, and he's whistling like this. Let's see, what song can I pick? Just bear with me a second. I'm trying to pick a song. Oh, this is a good one. You know, Riding Into the Danger Zone, Top Gun song. I forgot how it goes though, but I was gonna pick. Okay. Now that's the melody of that song. And the reason why I picked that is because that actually is a song that talks about danger. Now, they'll whistle. Whistling is another aspect of gang stalking. As this man or men are approaching this woman, they'll be whistling and touching their nose in certain ways, putting their finger to their mouth, maybe going like this, going like this, Maybe taking their hat off, stroking their hair back, putting the hat back on, and then tipping the brim of it, or tapping the brim of it. Then as they approach the woman, they'll assault her in any way. As this is occurring, they'll repeat those things and maybe even say some words and phrases like, oh my God, bitch, oh my God, gangstalk, or oh my God, weird, and then laugh. All of these things that are being perceived by the mind and observed through the eyes and ears as this assault is taking place, a traumatic event, had now become associated to that traumatic memory that is formed. Now, after this assault has taken place, they will then prop up different people along that target's routes every day, everywhere they go, and have them repeated what the target witnessed before the assault, during the assault, and after. In reference to what was intentionally repeated. Now, these are sensitization methods, and this is done so every time it's represented, it becomes a stimuli. It stimulates the memory. It's done to form mental associations, intentionally. And this is how they make you feel ganged upon, by using different people, because each one of the different people they use are repeating the same thing, because they've been told what to do. Now, this is how you feel ganged upon. It's achieved through the GPS tracking of you. That's the stalking, gang stalking. Fellow American citizens. So, what I do in response to these criminal realities, in part, is I predict what these little filthy red-ass maggots are going to do before they do it. On December 2nd, 2015, I was on my way to the VA in San Diego. I wear a running recording tape recorder on me at all times. This tape recorder reflects the date and time on it. I make predictions in one environment, like let's say where I'm at right now. I'm going to give you an example. I'm getting ready to go to Walmart. Let's see if any incidents occurred towards me for the whole time duration while I'm still here, on my way leaving to here, and then on the entire route going to Walmart and at Walmart. And then on my way to Walmart, I'll make additional statements in it. Like, let's see if anybody bothers me. Let's see if anybody tries to steal anything from me. Let's see if anybody messes with my bike. Let's see if I'm assaulted. Let's see if an incident occurs and I'm arrested. I will make these statements in my tape recorder, on Twitter, using tweets, and in my video camera, and my phone. Then if these incidents transpire and they're caught on the tape recorder, video camera, whatever, it'll be caught at a different time on the same date. Or maybe the next day. Now that automatically proves that this crime's happening to me, because every single thing that has happened to me, 6 assaults, have all been predicted before they occurred. Go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on an MTS bus. Dissect every single thing that is in the description of that YouTube video, and you will see that I not only predicted that assault 11 days before it occurred, but I also predicted where it would happen at, in an email file. It's in a blog. Okay, so I printed and scanned the email, attached it as a PDF link, put it inside of a blog. The link's name is Assault 11 within the blog. That blog is in the description of that YouTube video. Now, that's just the second of 6 assaults. On December 2nd, 2015, I was at a separate location. I was on my way to the VA because there's a bus hub there. Hub meaning it's an area where you can go to catch different bus routes. To wait for the bus to catch different buses, all depending on what bus you want to catch. So I had to catch a bus that only goes to that VA on that specific day from the bus route that I was on. So I made statements in my tape recorder. Let's see if anybody bothers me. Let's see if I'm assaulted. Let's see if anybody tries to steal anything from me, in my tape recorder. I then, right before, I made that before I even got on the bus to go to the VA. Then, as I'm getting on the bus, I made an additional statement. I then arrive at the VA, get off the bus, and while I'm waiting for my bus to come, I went and sat down by a tree, and within 2 minutes of me sitting down, a man approached me and attacked me. Okay, now that happened on the 2nd of December 2015. 5 days later, my bike was stolen, a bike that wasn't even 2 months old. Now, between the entire cost of the bike, the expensive inner tubes that were in it, because they were flattening my tires like you would not believe, and the locks cost me over $200. Then the cost of replacing it cost at least very close to $400. That was stolen on the 7th. Now that was done in order to motivate me to take the bike with me to my hiking areas. Now why would they do that? Well, they will sensitize a target to be sensitive to different types of people as well. People that look like they're bikish, people that look like they're punks, because of the way they act physically, the way they'll act verbally, and the way they dress. Believe me when I know what I'm talking about. They will also sensitize you to homeless people, people that look grubby, people that look like they're possibly involved in things they shouldn't be. Okay? And this is done to make you sensitive to these type of people because they use these type of people to assault you. That way, the next time one comes in your presence, as they're approaching you, they'll engage in a specific physical gesture to intentionally let you know that it's because of gang stalking. And then, to make you feel hyper vigilant and afraid that they're going to assault you and or steal your bike. And this is done to try to provoke you to act out so you can be called violent, a threat to yourself or others, so you can be arrested. Now this is what I meant about wearing out the mind and the body. Because as a result of you having to stay in a constant hyper-vigilant mindset, it's anchoring fear. What's going to happen to me today? What's going to happen to me now? What's going to happen to me as a result of me being gang stalked every day along all my routes? When you're living in a home, an apartment, or even a motel room, or even maybe possibly sleeping in your car, you have a door between you and the outside world. When you're made homeless, intentionally because of them, which is all over the internet that they do, Google that, you don't have a front door anymore. And they know it. So through the GPS tracking of you, they prop up these low-life motherfuckers to approach you, to at least make you feel intimidated about what's going to happen as a result of them being in your physical presence. It's also done to bait you to call the police, so the police can give you a ticket for trespassing, or make an incident report, so later it can be used against you by claiming that you can't take care of yourself because you're homeless and won't get out of it, even though we've offered you homeless services, and as a result you're staying in areas where you're being assaulted. Then they claim you can't take care of yourself because you're making decisions that aren't keeping yourself safe, even though the police are directly connected to gang stalking, even though you've shown massive amounts of evidence to the police that you're being gang stalked, and they won't listen to it, observe it, or make a police report concerning it, or investigate it. The homelessness was created for these objectives. The police want to get investigated because, for one, they're connected to it, and for two, they're allowing this campaign to continue because they know why people call them assaults. So they can come and documentate that you're homeless and that you won't get out of it, even though they pretend to offer you homeless services, which they know you won't go to because they know you'll be gang stalked to it because they're part of a syndicate that's already had you gang stalked to homeless shelters. But since they won't investigate or report that you are a gang stalking victim, what they do is lie instead on their incident reports and call you crazy because you claim you're being stalked by people you don't know, even though you are. Even though you're being set up for staged assaults, some of them being so bad that the victim will literally call the police, and they do this so the police can be called, so they can documentate your homelessness over a long period of time, claim that you're mentally ill because you think you're being stalked by people you don't know, and that you're homeless and won't get out of it even though you've been offered services, even though you've literally even caught public defenders and prosecutors saying gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk weird, gang stalk suck my dick. I got 1,000 audio files right now in my possession of people saying these same exact identical words around me every day, everywhere I go. So go to that blog I mentioned, UCSD and Law Library. Are they networking gang stalking? There's at least 100 videos in that blog, flat out showing me talking to police, flat out showing indisputable evidence, confessions of police, everything. And audio evidence of these things being said around me at multiple different locations and multiple dates, spanning over from early 2012 up to even this date. Okay? So you can see that I'm being gang stalked and the police flat out refusing to report it. So fellow American citizens, the foundational programming of what I'm saying is they're programming you to be afraid and hyper-vigilant, so when they bring the next criminal motherfucker to approach you at your hiking area. See, if you're forced to engage in illegal lodging because you got to sleep because they made you homeless, and you have your bike parked somewhere else, and you hear the cops coming, you can go to a different spot and hide from them. But if you got your bike with you, they can approach your bike and get the serial number off it. If a homeless person comes towards you, you're not going to want to walk away from your bike. They want you to stay at your bike. That's right, because if they confiscate the bike while you stay hidden and you go to claim it, then they can say, well, what was it doing there? You're trespassing. Do you understand? That's why they stole the bike. because the bike wasn't being taken to the hiking area. It was done so the bike had to be forced to be taken with the target to the hiking area, so that way when the police come, the target can't run somewhere because the bike will have to be left behind. The bike will, in other words, the bike will make too much noise trying to walk away with it because of the density of the woods. Do you understand? And they know it. These are the sophisticated techniques of gang stalking. Now, when it comes to standing your ground to a homeless person that they will intentionally bring up towards you to protect yourself and your property was the reason for the assault on December 2nd. They just stole my bike, they just had me assaulted, they bring homeless men to my hiking area, okay, when they plan on it, and they will do it, okay, and that'll be done to make me automatically get up and say, leave me alone, don't bother me. They'll act nice verbally because the individuals who are propping them up know I wear a tape recorder. Okay. I've been accused by these simple-minded motherfuckers that they put along my path. They've literally accused me of pulling on my knife when I didn't. Because they wanted it caught on my own tape recorder of these things being said. So do you honestly think when they approach me, you can't catch a physical gesture, which is an overt mental message they're sending you that they're actually here because of gang stalking on a tape recorder. And by the time you get out your camera, they'll stop doing it and then try to attack you and blame it on the fact that they're trying to say that, well, don't take a video picture of me, bitch, and then use that for the excuse of assaulting you. Absolutely. Because what the police are trying to do as well is trying to claim that a target is taking video pictures of people for no reason because they think they're being stalked because they're mentally ill, and that's provoking people to assault them. You understand? When the real reason why they don't want video pictures taken of these people is because these motherfuckers are going to end up one day being targets. And if anybody in the community, like a private investigator, can't ever get a hold of them if they're identified, they could possibly break them down and say, look, who put you up to this? And if they say the police, boom. Do you understand? So there's multiple different excuses and reasons why they don't want video pictures taken of who they use. Do you understand? So my name is Leslie Williams. The foundational programming is making you extremely hyper-vigilant based on what's already happened to you. Okay, by them intentionally, mentally letting you know that what's happening to you is because of gang stalking. And if I can get this phone turned on, I'm going to play an audio file from Instagram. This audio file is in videos and in an Instagram link in that blog. But if it doesn't, so you can listen to it on that. It's called the Thanksgiving event. So if I don't have, if the video camera stops operating because the batteries ran out before I can get this brought up, okay, look for the Thanksgiving event in the blog. See, the whole goal for them is to make you paranoid about what's going to happen to me as a result of this person being in my physical presence, so you'll get up and act defensive. Okay? Alright? Absolutely. So they can accuse you of assaulting somebody for no reason. See, if they intentionally act nice verbally, it's because they know I'm wearing a tape recorder, while they're approaching me in a hostile way, physically, to make my reaction to somebody who's acting nice verbally seem irrational. So once the event's over with, the police can say, well, it doesn't sound like he was threatening to me, Leslie. It sounds like he was being nice, and you were acting irrational. This is literally how it operates. You might think to yourself, well, how do they know I wear a tape recorder? Because I've told practically every single police officer I talk to that I'm wearing one, and that they're being taped. And because cyber surveillance is a method of these crimes, and 98% of all the evidence of mine that's online, of me catching these words and phrases being said around me every day, everywhere I go, was caught in the tape recorder, transferred from the tape recorder to the video file, from the video file to YouTube, and cyber surveillance is a method of gang stalking. It literally shows me stating in the videos that I wear my tape recorder on me at all times. So do you honestly think that they do not know how to play out what is known as street theaters, which are nothing but verbal and physical theatrics that they play out? They're scripted before they even approach the target concerning how they're going to play them out, and then they play them out. This is where the police come involved in this. So you can Google gang stalking and police to see I'm telling you the truth. Now, fellow Americans, if you don't believe what I'm saying, it's not that I don't think that you wouldn't believe what I'm saying, but what I'm going to do right now is literally prove to you that before they will do something, and as it's occurring, they will intentionally, mentally let you know that it's because of gang stalking. Now, as soon as I can bring up this Instagram here, you're going to hear two men say gang stalk together, and then you're going to hear him say, gang stalk together. Then one says gang stalking, and then that same one says gang stalking, I'm going to fuck you up. So think about it. Why would he be saying that while he's saying I'm going to fuck you up? Why do you think he was saying, no, 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 and then I said, get the fuck on? Because he was approaching me. Okay? Yeah. Listen again. Gang of stalking, I'll fuck you up. Now this is what I mean when I say that they will literally come in your physical presence and intentionally, mentally let you know, either verbally or through physical gestures, that they're in your physical presence to make you feel threatened because of gang stalking. So fellow American citizens, who falsified the information sheet, UCSD police, and the VA police concerning the December 2nd, 2015 assault I endured at the VA. That event was propped up in order to make it appear that they got that little simple-minded motherfucker who attacked me to accuse me of pulling a knife on him. Did they prop up a witness? Let me just go an additional moment. There's been a couple times I had to go to UCSD Hillcrest Medical Center. One was because I came down with a thing called, it was back in 2012. I don't know how it occurred because I wore clean clothes and clean sleeping bag, clean clothes from head to toe. I came down with scabies on my leg back in 2012. I didn't even know what it was. I immediately went to the hospital and got some lotion for it and haven't got it since. So I went to the hospital for that. I also went to the hospital on another date because I broke my wrist. I fell off my bike. Then I went to the hospital on another date because I fell off my bike and got a concussion. Then on another date, I went to another hospital because I broke a bone in my foot. Every single one of these times I went to these hospitals, patients that were already there in the hospital were saying gang stalking, oh my God. I got audio files to prove it. So when this VA incident occurred, where I always go to sit at to have a cigarette when I go to the VA, a man was sitting in a 4x4. After the event unfolded, the police went and talked to him, and he said then he told me that he was there because his father was receiving treatment. Now, was any of his behavior that I noticed about him peculiar? Absolutely. Now, what did he, because as the event was unfolding, after the guy assaulted me and he started walking away, the guy got out of his car and he said, quit egging him on. The whole event was caught on tape, on my tape recorder. It shows me not saying one word that was egging him on, but it does show me saying, get the fuck away from me, at least 7 times. So why would an individual get out of his truck and say, quit egging him on? Because he was told what to say in order to make it reflect on my tape recorder that I was causing a problem. So, the guy who assaulted me tried to claim I pulled a knife on him, when I didn't. So, what did the guy in the truck tell the police when they approached him? You understand? Trying to put on any type of information sheet, incident report, or police report that a target is a threat to themselves or others is a method of gang stalking. Now, they will assault you and then turn around and make a police report trying to claim that you're a threat to yourself or others. They've had me assaulted 6 times. And by the way, in closing, that YouTube video you're watching me of me being assaulted on an MTS bus was sent to me by MTS Altered. On the day of the event of me being assaulted on that bus, me and the perpetrator who assaulted me were sitting on the opposite side of the bus in reference to how we're shown on the video. That's right. Why is the mirror, why is the rail that holds the mirror and the back door of the bus on the wrong side of the bus in the video, along with me and him? Why is the mirror backwards? And why are people on that bus that were not in the video that were not on that bus that day? And why are people that were on the video not? Do you understand? Why was the police report falsified concerning that assault? And why were facts omitted? That should tell you right there that this is organized crime in the system. Do you understand? So if they will go through all that to alter a video because of what the guy was doing 5 minutes before the assault, then falsify the police report concerning it, do you honestly think that they will, and since gang stalking staged events are all over the internet to be a method of gang stalking, including staging witnesses, do you honestly think for 1 minute some guy using some lame-ass excuse that his father's there for treatment cannot be used? Well, that VA has already been on national radio shows in reference to in fact, they're all over the internet in reference to veterans being gang stalked on that VA property. So Google San Diego VA and gang stalking. In fact, on 9/17/2013, I was on Ground Zero show with Clyde Lewis. I was talking about gang stalking. After I got done talking, a man called up and he said that he was being victimized, okay, and that the San Diego, I believe, I think he said he was from San Diego, and that the VA is using him as a human guinea pig. Now, it's all over the internet that targets of gang stalking are being used for non-consensual human experimentation, military included. And when I used to go to UCSD, okay, I'd go to this little restaurant on their campus, right up the walkway from the biomedical library. It was called Club Med. I'd be sitting in there heating up my lunch in the Club Med restaurant microwave oven. Individuals from the VA would walk in there and gaslight the shit out of me, which is gang stalking harassment. And the reason why I knew they were from the VA is because they had these little insignias on their and their little government IDs attached to their clothes. I'd even ask them, I go, why are you guys coming all the way over here for lunch? They goes, because we don't like the food over there. And every other time that I've been at that bus hub, okay, I've caught gang stalk being set around me. So would you honestly trust any why were the UCSD police called? That's not, the VA's not even UCSD. They came and tried to act like they weren't sure about the boundaries. Bullshit. They were there to get an information sheet report concerning the asshole that was propped up, the one sitting in the car. Now think about it this way. I've been at UCSD, Hillcrest Medical Center, Scripps Mercy, where patients have said gang stalking, oh my God, and administrative staff, nurses, and doctors have said it. As I'm in the emergency room, people that were there before I arrived. So think about it this way. If they can get people to do that for me to experience it once I arrive, do you honestly think that they cannot prop up people at the VA, them knowing that I would be going there? Now you might think to yourself, well, how would they know I was going there? Through the illegal GPS tracking on my phone. And I gotta go, so I'm gonna make one additional also statement. Go to Google right now and type in how they can hack into your cell phone and use it as a microphone. If I state where I'm going in my tape recorder before I get on a bus to go there, and if they're using my phone as a microphone, they can hear it. Go to Google and type in how they can hack into your phone and use it as a GPS tracker.